Hello, everybody. Welcome to CharmedPersons. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, we're doing a one shot today. This is what happens when a bunch of adults have a Twitch stream and decide that they want to play Dungeons and Dragons whenever they want.
This is being an adult. This is what it is, right?
This is currently being an adult.
And finally having an evening free.
Yes, yeah, and we're also just happy to have Evan back. It's been a while since we've seen Evan in a CharmedPersons product, so it's good to have you back, bud.
That's not true.
It's not?
I was indeed being accosted by.
Oh, I guess that's
Eric
true.
and
Yeah.
Matt.
Evan is actually still under investigation, so
Yeah,
the jury
that's
might
true.
take
You
him
can't
down
talk about.
later.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed. I am barred from because speaking on this as I will be at the trial, as a witness testimony. If you want to know what we're talking about, watch the most recent episode of Talk with Me. Also, this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, we have the next session of Curse of Strahd. This coming Sunday at 12 Central, staying at this new time, we have the next session of Campaign 3. And then, Monday the 3rd, we have the next episode of Talk with Me, the new show, hosted by Eric and Matt. This week's episode, they're going to be building a one-shot. Is it going to be better than this one? Probably. So please join and watch and support that new show for us. And yeah, that's about it for announcements. So let's jump in to this special one-shot, Ravenhill Manor. It is a cold, rainy evening in Faramore. A large, but still somehow quaint town. There's a bustling downtown area that then spreads into some residential districts, that then spreads into a circle of farms that surround this town. Very self-sustaining and quite profitable. There's a hill in this town, just on the outskirts. Some would even call it a small mountain, by the sheer steepness of its climb. On the top of this hill, bathed in moonlight, we see a manor, a rich, decadent, mysterious, ominous location. Lights, warm and inviting, pour from the windows. The distant howl of a wolf, the eerie caw of a crow can be heard. And we zoom in as a figure is slowly making their way up the steep steps and to the front door of the manor. Eager in his arrival, Michael, would you like to describe your character?
Sure. What someone would see is a young, looks kind of from a distance like a half elf, but upon closer inspection has green, excuse me, not green, gray Goliath-like skin, but has the pointed ears of a half elf and has dark hair, as Goliaths don't typically have. But he's really pretty scrawny, gangly, just under 6 feet, and has very basic armor, like very basic, like leather, baby's first leather armor, essentially. A longbow across his back, and he has a button on, like, over his right chest that's very crudely done in metal that's FAF, and he just is walking forward. I cannot hear you anymore.
Sorry, I muted myself. Okay, as you approach, you get closer and you knock on the door of this building, and the door opens, and an older figure greets you, balding with white hair circling his head, a trimmed white beard, and he opens the door for you. Hello! Welcome to Ravenhill Manor. My name is Nigel. I am the butler and caretaker of this estate.
Oh, this is where you would like me to talk. Hello, my name is Joshua. I am here representing Professor Marjorie Cooper from the nearby academy. She was invited, but sends her deepest regrets that she couldn't make it, but I'm here to represent on her behalf.
Oh, well, Master Ravenhill might find this disagreeable, but if you provide the invitation, I will let you in.
Absolutely do. I have it right here. If you want any other prior documentation, I do have it. Some of it is done quite well. I did laminate myself.
I am fine with the invitation, thank you. Maybe I can peruse your documents later. Welcome to Ravenhill Manor, and he welcomes you in, and you see a building almost as extravagant and nice as the academy in which you normally tend, and almost as large as well. And there's a large red carpet that leads its way into the main area. Off to the left, you see a staircase that leads to a second floor. Off to the right, you see a door that is open to a study. And you see a pair of double doors at the far end of the hallway, as well as some other doors. But he gestures you into the study and kind of escorts you into there. And as he does, you see another individual who is already here in this room. She is wearing a blonde shirt, or a yellow shirt with blonde hair braided, and has a pair of spectacles on her head. You actually do know who this person is. This is Jaina Warden. She is also a member of the Academy. You just happen to know her. You're not friends. You've not spent any real time together, never had a class together. You just happen to be pretty good with names, and you remember this name. And she is currently reading a book, and then kind of looks up and nods. And Nigel says, Master Travertine, this is Jaina Warden.
Yes, we do go to the same school. Actually, have you reconsidered joining the future adventures of Faramir, please?
Hi.
If you don't have a lot of extracurriculars, it's a really good way to get yourself in front of a lot of great networking opportunities.
Yeah, good to see you, Joshua. I didn't expect you to be here. Maybe we can talk about it. Maybe that's something that can happen.
That'd be great, but I mean, if you don't want to do it, you can just say it and then not be rude.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. I mean, maybe you can convince me.
Okay, that's a reluctant yes.
And the door knocks, and we see it open, and you see another individual entering the house. This is an individual that you would know simply because of his time in the city. He is a local priest, Gerald Monk. He is well known, the main priest of the church here in Faramore. And he's wearing the long black cloak, large medallion of the symbol of his god that almost like sags his neck, how heavy it is in his old age. And he is gestured into the room, and Nigel speaks up and says, Master Travertine, Mistress Warden, this is obviously Father Monk. And Gerald nods and steps forward. Yes, I am very aware of these two promising young students at the academy. I tend to keep up on local talent, I guess you could say.
Thank you. So that really means so much. Thank you. So, could I maybe interview you later to talk about just, how you really climbed the ranks of adventuring? I think that'd be a really great thing. I'm so nervous.
No need to be nervous. I would be happy. We will be sharing drinks with each other this evening, and you get a couple drinks in me, and I am a waterfall of information.
Okay.
We pan back outside as the rain continues to fall, and there is a clanking of metal as our next character approaches. Evan, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, so this older man, long hair that's hidden under his current white cloak, and with brown and gray in his beard, approaches, sword at his hip, shield on his back. Sir Arthur Pierce is walking up the, the pathway up into the manor, just kind of no nonsense, beelining it straight to the door. As soon as he gets there, immediately knocks, not really waiting and not wanting to stay in the rain.
Yeah, of course. The door opens, and you see Nigel open the door. Sir Arthur, wonderful that you could make it on such short notice.
Yes, me too. I was surprised to receive a last-minute invite. Usually he's much more diligent about sending out his invitations, but
I do agree with you, but Master Ravenhill has been, he's not been himself lately.
I figured as much. Again, if his schedule's off, something's wrong. Do you mind if I grab his like little pocket square thing, and on the white armor that I have on that has a black symbol on it, the symbol of the Royal Guard, of which I'm a part of. There's just like some mud that's like gotten hit. I just like wipe it off real quick.
Oh, yes, please.
Hold it back up. Is there a place I can put this? I'm sorry, it's been bothering me.
No, I will take it. It is the least I can do. Please.
Thanks,
and
Nigel.
he gestures you into the study. He says, Father Monk, Master Traventine, and Mistress Warden, this is Sir Arthur Pierce. And
Pleasure. I finally pull down my hood, let out all my hairs. Pleasure. Father Monk.
Sir Arthur, it is wonderful to see you again.
Wonderful to see you. I didn't know you partook in anything other than communion wine.
Well, it does take quite a bit to get me out of my stoop, I'll tell you that, but an invitation from Master Ravenhill, well, of course, I must say yes.
Indeed. And I'm sorry, your name again was? I look over at you, Michael.
Hi, I'm Joshua Travertine, experienced adventurer.
Sir Arthur Pierce. I serve on the Royal Guard.
Oh man, that was a lie. This is my first time outside of a controls environment. I'm sorry, I couldn't live with. I lied to you, and I couldn't deal with the lie of it. Oh gosh.
You could have fooled me. And I kind of like look over at Gerald for a moment, just like.
He like nods his head.
And Miss Warden.
Yes, Miss Warden. It's a pleasure to meet.
Have I met her before?
No, you've not. No.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sir Arthur.
Pleasure to meet you. How do you know Mr. Ravenhill?
Well, I hold on, I'm actually forgetting. I recently won, and you know this to be true, Joshua, new characters. She says, Well, I recently won, of all things, a poetry contest at the Academy, and I'm a scholar there, and, you know, there are scholars there at the Academy. It's not all adventurers. They forget about us. But my reward was an evening here at Ravenhill Manor.
Oh, I didn't know he was setting up a poetry slam tournament. I had no idea that was a thing that he was doing.
It was the first of its kind. I'm, for one, I'm very excited about it.
Yes, clearly. I'm sorry that I'm still in my armor. I didn't get a chance to change on the way over here, so I'll be clanking about, unfortunately, for a little while. It takes a minute to get in and out of this.
I'm sure. I understand.
Yes,
You all hear the door knock again, as another figure enters this house. Coming through the door, you see a woman with long black hair, braided, a nice purple gown that is tied and has a high collar. She walks in, and none of you recognize this woman. And Nigel brings her in and says, everyone, this is Mistress Rose Fireheart. And Rose kind of nods and walks in.
I nod immediately. Sir Arthur Pierce, I hold my hand out to shake.
Rose is fine, thank you. And she
How do you know Mr. Ravenhill?
One could say we go way back.
Can I do I don't know, like a history check? Would that be fair?
If you're trying to see if he's ever mentioned her?
Yeah, or if I had ever...
Yeah, I'll say history or insight, either one.
My insight is +1, so I'm gonna do that instead of a +0.
Okay.
We're going strong with the 10.
10, you don't really, you don't recall anything about a Rose Fireheart or any woman described in this way.
And what do you do?
I'm new in town, so I'm looking for work. I guess you could say.
Ah. Sure, well, Fairmore is certainly a lovely place to find some work.
What do you do, sir?
Me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I told you I'm a member of the Royal Guard.
But do you what's rice? But right, yeah. But do you, what is do you do magic stuff or
I'm primarily a knight. I'm not usually just like casting things like I'm sure you do in your studies, or I guess that would be more Miss Warden's thing. But I do know a little bit of magic. Primarily, I'm to guard the royals.
It's cool.
Oh, thank you. I think it's cool too.
I won a local contest for shooting an apple with an arrow really far away.
Oh, how far?
I think it was about 500 feet.
It's impressive. I'm not that good of an archer. I'm better with a sword and things up close. Though I have shot a few bows and a couple of good shots, but nothing that far away. You've heard the story of the guy who could split the arrow with another arrow, right?
I've heard of it. I'm trying to do it. I got really close a couple of times, but all I ended up doing was just ruining some arrows.
Oh, that happened. Well, you can always make more and buy more, right? Do you fletch your own?
I'm trying. That's sort of the whole learning process. Just really getting my feet wet with experience.
Well, you certainly get your feet wet tonight. It is doozy out there.
On that dad joke, we're gonna cut back to.
He's 55.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna cut back to the exterior of the manor as not walking up, definitely being delivered in a carriage of some sort.
Absolutely.
Is Emily's character. Would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, Scarlet Windsor definitely shows up in like a small carriage with a driver. It's got like the Windsor family crest on the side. The driver gets down and opens up a little like parasol and walks her the whole way to the door. She is like, the fantasy version of a 20s Hollywood starlet, probably in overly extravagant clothes. She's an elf. So she's just very glamorous, in red head to toe.
Yeah, as you enter, even Nigel kind of is like taken aback by seeing you. Oh, Mistress Windsor, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, wait, no. It's a pleasure to finally see you again.
Yes, it's nice to see you again too, Nigel. Do you need this? And I'll hand the invitation.
Oh, of course. And he takes the coat, and he looks to you and he says, is there anything that I can get for you? Everyone is gathering in the study for now.
Oh, a glass of wine would be lovely, thank you.
Of
and
course.
Then she kind of turns to the servant who was holding the parasol and says, "You may go."
The servant clicks his heels and nods and walks away. And Nigel escorts you over to the study. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to meet Mistress Scarlet Windsor. And every one of you in this room know who Scarlet Windsor is. As famous as you can get in this small town. Currently going through a run of... What's the show that you're currently doing in town?
It's a drama called The Lover's Quarrel.
Ooh, okay,
And it's very long.
It's very long. Yeah. Yeah, and so you see Scarlet.
Miss Windsor, pleasure to finally meet you. I hold out my hand for a greeting.
She hands out like a limp.
Yeah, absolutely. He expected that immediately. Pleasure. Gives a kiss on the hand. I'm quite all right. I'm Sir Arthur Pierce.
So,
what brings you here tonight? Well, yeah, I am a knight.
Oh, lovely. I was invited like anybody else.
Well, apparently these two over here, and I point over at Joshua and what was it, Jane? Jane? Was that right?
Jaina.
Jaina.
Yeah.
Joshua and Jaina over here won contests to be.
Not exact. Well, so sorry. Not. Hi, I'm Joshua. Not exactly. See, my professor was actually invited, and then she said she didn't want to go, and then I said I very much did want to go, so that's why I'm here.
Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry. I was thinking of.
Totally okay.
But yeah, do you know why we're here, or were you also invited in place of your father?
Well, technically, yes, my father did. Put the
Correct, yeah.
invitation,
Sir Arthur nailed it. Thomas Windsor is
His
very...
name is William.
William, I apologize, of course. The crest is a very intricate double W.
Oh, this means
Arthur punches Nigel in the face for being so rude to not remember his name.
Michael, it's not that. It's really not even that crazy, but you are slightly glitchy. I don't know if anything... Yeah, I didn't know if there was anything you could close or something.
I'd have to probably do a full restart of my computer.
Okay. Okay. Maybe on break. Anyway, yeah, you definitely know that William Windsor is a very well-known name in this town, and him and Silas Ravenhill have done business together multiple times.
So how do you feel coming to one of these events without your father?
Oh, darling, I'm at events like this all the time. It was very easy for me to slip into his place, so he was lucky to have me, really.
Well, we seem to be very lucky with your presence. I look over, I share a glance with Gerald just for like a second, just like one of those.
Gerald is like looking right at he's like very starstruck honestly in this moment, and he kind of like acknowledges that. The door opens again, and you see another individual enter the room. Short black hair, trimmed scruff on his face, blue noble looking clothes. He enters and kind of like slightly frustrated, but not in like an asshole way, just like fuck it sucks to be out in the rain. Kind of brushes himself off, and is brought over, and Nigel says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Master Alden Orion." And Alden kind of nods his head, and he says, "Good evening, everyone."
Good evening, Mr. Orion, Sir Arthur Pierce.
Sir Pierce, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine. How do you know Mr. Ravenhill?
Oh, he's my uncle, actually. My sister, Martha Ravenhill, who moved away quite some time now, or my mother, I should say, his sister, Martha Ravenhill, who moved away quite some time now, is his sister, and I am here on his invitation and have traveled here from Harrisburg, which you know is
The Yale Kingdom of Pennsylvania?
yes, yes, in the Kingdom of Pennsylvania. Correct. It's quite a journey.
Quite some journey over time and space. I hold out my hand to give him a shake.
He shakes your hand, and he says, "However, not so far to not have heard the name Scarlet Windsor. It is a pleasure." And he reaches and he grabs your hand and brings it up. And
She has, at this point, like made herself very comfortable on a chaise lounge, so that in order to do that, he needs to bend a knee.
He does so very easily, and quite suavely, as he kisses your hand, and then he stands up and he looks over, and he says, just kind of to the rest of the group who he hasn't personally introduced himself, "Alden Orion, it's a pleasure."
I'm Joshua.
Joshua, wonderful to meet you. I'm loving the leather armor that you're wearing. It's form-fitting, practical, but stylish.
Oh, thanks. This is really just the school's, armor that they give people when they want to like send them out to go do something. So it's just really like, they kind of just pulled it out of a closet, but thanks.
Oh, well, you pulled it off well. And everybody kind of chills for a minute until you do see some drinks and some food brought in by a young woman, long red hair, tied up in a braid. Arthur, you would recognize this as Maria, one of the servants, like kind of one of the head maids of the house. Scarlet, you've seen Maria around, but are not super aware. Obviously, Joshua, you've never seen it before. And she walks in, kind of gives some things, and Nigel says, "Thank you, Maria." And Maria just kind of curtsies, and she says, "Of course, Nigel. Anything for Ravenhill's Master Ravenhill's guests." And she kind of looks around. Would anyone be needing anything else?
I would love a glass of wine, Maria. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Of course, Sir Pierce. I'd be glad. Anyone else? Anything in particular? And she like hands you your wine, Scarlet. Roll an insight check, Scarlet.
Heterochromia means she's gonna kill you.
You do notice that she has heterochromia, yes. One kind of hazel, one bluish eye.
That means she's the devil.
18.
What'd you say?
18.
18. There's definitely like she seems intimidated by you. As she like
should be.
hands you this wine. As she hands you this wine. Michael, are you moving? Oh, there you go. I couldn't tell if you were frozen or
Having
not.
fun problems. Yeah.
No worries. We can take a break real quick if you want. You want to do that?
Yeah, give it like 15 minutes. Let's take a break at
cool.
the hour.
Cool. Yeah, we'll take a break at the hour. We'll just take an early break and then have a longer second half. As you are all sitting there talking, you hear a familiar laugh. Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yes, and
Give me just a second, sorry.
that's a weird laugh. It's almost musical.
I know, right?
Can you imagine if that's how someone actually laughs? They just do a little bit of gritty.
You hear a boisterous laugh of Silas Ravenhill as he enters the room, slicked back, kind of brown and gray hair, thin facial hair, chiseled jawline, very handsome, a silver fox of a man, wearing deep green noble attire, looking very prim and proper. Well, it seems my guests have arrived. It's a pleasure to see you all. And he does roll insight checks, everybody.
All right. 16.
16, 17.
Get an 18 or a 15. Come on. Right in a row.
That's an 11.
Ah,
11. Arthur and Scarlet, you both notice that he is surprised by seeing a few people here. He's looking at the room in general, so you don't really know exactly who, but he does seem surprised to see certain people here.
Kind of
Apparently.
wink at him as he like scans the room.
Well, it's a pleasure to see all of you. I hope that the rain did not put too much of a hindrance to your travel here.
not at all. I walk up and go to shake a little bit more like informally.
Yeah, he
Shake
like
hand.
shakes your hand and like brings you in for like a shake in one hand, hug in the other.
When that happens, I like lean back as if no one else is in the room, but like quietly to him, like, how you doing?
He kind of stops for a second, takes his hand that he was hugging you with, and kind of like clasps the other side of your hand, and he says, "I'll tell you soon. It's one of the reasons I brought you here, friend."
I give a head nod and back up.
Yeah. He goes over to you, Joshua, and he says, "I'm sorry, I don't think we've had the pleasure."
No, I'm sorry. I'm here on behalf of Professor Copper. She couldn't attend today, so I'm here. I was really excited to come and meet a whole lot of different people, talk about adventuring.
Yes, talking about adventuring.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I think we're here to do.
Well,
Not what we're here to do. Okay.
not necessarily, but I'm sure you have been aptly trained, yes?
Yeah. Yes. Of course. Totally.
Well, then you will be up to the task, young lad.
I give a thumbs
Okay.
up from behind Silas to Joshua, just like a
Beads of sweat.
Yeah. He speaks to the rest of the room, and he says, well, if you will all follow me, and let me show y'all.
roll initiative. All right.
Let me bring you over here.
Uh-oh. I'm personally blind. I can't see a thing in the room.
You should be able to see stuff on the bottom if you scroll down.
Oh no, absolutely. I was doing a bit.
Oh, okay. It was a
Sorry, I
great
just
bit.
wanted
I'm
to-
sorry.
I
You see this area. You see this area. You see this area. This area. Do you guys see what I'm showing you?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Mine's still taking a bit.
I like how we have Rick and Morty portals outside of those two doors.
What two doors?
I think they're doors. Where Nigel is, there's like a green little.
Oh yeah, they're like rugs. Yeah, they
look
do
like
look
portals.
like they do look like Rick and Morty portals. Yeah. You are also all then taken into this ballroom up here at the top.
Hell yeah.
I am going to. I'll show the stream what's going on here in just a second. I'm gonna put Silas's token down. Nigel and Maria are not there. And then I'm going to start putting other tokens down. Go ahead and put your tokens down. He gestures you into this this ballroom and kind of whoa. Did you guys hear that?
I heard something, but I didn't.
It was
hear
really
distinctly.
muffled. It
What
was
was
like
that?
your sound kind of filtered it out, whatever happened.
It was
like
a
the spookiest thunder I've ever heard in my life.
it was like the biggest thunder I've ever heard in my life. That's a really good way to put it. That was
Dang.
crazy. Emily, go ahead and put your token out there.
My roll 20 is being a little glitchy. Hold on a second.
Okay,
I think I got
no
it.
worries.
I guess I'm just the coolest and already have my stuff in there.
Honestly, this is just mainly for visuals anyway. We're not like
Oh.
necessarily in combat.
So we're
right
not
now.
fighting here.
You don't know.
Not yet, anyway. I pull out my sword.
Yeah. So you can make it.
He takes you all in here, and he looks at all of you, and he says, "I would like to thank all of you for coming this evening. Unfortunately, I must admit the reasons are dire and upsetting. I believe I'm not long for this world. I've not been feeling well, but also I'm worried. I thoroughly believe that someone means me harm.
I immediately move, not like slow enough, but move so that I am standing as close to him as possible without it being weird.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You hear a dog barking in the backyard. He says, and I believe the person who does mean me harm is in this manor.
Scarlet audibly gasps.
Arthur looks at Scarlet and just, and then looks back to the front.
He says, I have evidence to believe that one of the people in this manor means to harm me. And with that being said, I put the task to all of you, people who I feel are capable, people who are renowned, well liked, and experienced. And he looks over at you, Joshua.
This was a networking opportunity.
I turned around. In a way, it is.
And he says, it is to you that I put the task to find this person who means me harm. You will not be able to leave this manor until you do so. I've seen to that myself. Trust me, I mean you no harm. For those of you who are here in support of me, we are nothing but friends and allies. But for the one of you who means me harm, well, I've brought everyone here to protect myself.
I move forward now, just outright in front of him.
Okay.
And I look at Silas, I say, well, that makes my job easy. You're not going to leave my side for the entirety of the investigation.
All right.
Unless you're the one that means him harm.
I look back, and it's the first time, like, the facade of being kind has pierced, and I look right over at Joshua, and it's like stony guard face, like, I will rip your fucking head off if you say a thing again. Like, he's fully, like, on duty. But he doesn't say that. All he does is look back and just...
I understand. I understand, my old friend. That this is exactly what you were trained for. And
Indeed.
I appreciate that you're willing to do that for me.
Of course.
He looks to all of you and he says, Nigel has several versions of a contract, an agreement that I have written. He is in these contracts as the sole decider. What I mean by this is, I am a man who has bore no children. I have no direct heir. But I have a vast estate. And I have money. Money that could change lives. Which is why, if something were to happen to me, I am going to send half of my current wealth to the town itself. To hopefully further benefit the work that I have already tried. The other half, and this estate, will be left to the person who can help me solve this issue. Everybody kind of like looks around. You see Alden visibly like pale. And he kind of like gets a little angry. Jaina looks over at you, Joshua, like, what the fuck are we doing here? And you see a variety of different reactions from everyone. He looks at you, Arthur, and he disappears in a poof of green smoke. And then reappears on the balcony right above you. There's a balcony above this stage that's about 10 feet up. And he says, "This is where I will remain. I have a watch on all of you. I ask that you do not leave this room. And lastly, I ask..." The lights go out. The chandeliers above you get snuffed. You hear a sickening squelch and a scream. What do you do in this 1 second?
How high up is the balcony?
It is 10 feet above you.
So probably not. Well, is there a table that where he was? Is that a table that Silas was sitting at?
It
Or
is
standing at?
it's a chair with an ottoman in front of it.
Say no if this doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
Could I jump on that chair and hoist myself, or at least jump to get to the balcony, like grab onto it
For sure.
from where I am?
Roll an athletics check.
Can't imagine why I would need to do that. Hey, that's pretty good. 24.
You remember you're in complete darkness, but you
Yep.
remember where the chair was in front of you. It was a high DC because you're in complete darkness, but 24 is really high. You run and you jump on where you remember that you feel the chair, you hoist your armored leg up, and you launch yourself. Immediately, the adrenaline canceling out any old age that would cause issue, and you grab onto the edge of the balcony, or at least that's what you feel. Scarlet, what do you do?
I would immediately, the second we hear the scream, look around at everyone's reactions around me.
It's complete. You're in complete darkness.
So all you see is
See a name floating in the dark.
And if the genuine answer is in this second I don't do anything, then we're
I
talking
think
literally
she would-
the first second that this has happened.
Yeah, I think she would freeze.
Okay,
I think like fight, flight, or freeze, she would freeze.
you freeze. Joshua, do you do anything in this second?
Get my bow at the ready.
You get your bow out and knock it. Something that is so second nature for you that you literally do it in a second. And the lights turn on, and you see Silas slumped over the balcony with an arrow in his throat.
Oh, this looks awful. Oh, this looks bad.
And he topples off the balcony and
Can
falls.
I attempt to catch him from falling?
Roll another. Yeah, because you're currently hanging on to the edge, so I will allow you to attempt to do this. Yeah, roll an athletics check.
This is why Arthur lifts. Hey, that's a 23.
23. You grab his arm as he's falling, and the sickening thing about this moment is you immediately notice two things. One, his wrist feels ice cold.
Mm-hmm.
And two, also like clammy. And two, he's immediate full weight. And you clasp on and you grab him, stopping him from crushing his skull as he was heading head first down.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, this is what you see. You see Arthur holding onto the balcony, holding a lifeless-looking Silas Ravenhill. You see Miss Scarlet kind of frozen
Okay.
and looking around. You see Alden. I mean, look at the tokens. Come on, look at the tokens.
I mean, yeah, I figured it out.
You see Alden, almost kind of looking angry, but also surprised. You see Rose looking stone-faced. You see Jaina looking eyes wide. You see Gerald Monk looking immediately very concerned. And you see Joshua with a bow and an arrow in his hands.
I yell loudly, "Grab the half Goliath!"
This was not okay. This is bad.
And that's where we're going to take a bio break. So we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stand up, stretch, get some water, but stay tuned because we will be right back. Hi, we're back. Last we left off, everyone was looking at Joshua, who had a bow and arrow out after Silas was shot by a bow and arrow, and Arthur yelled, "Tackle him!" Alden's going to like look over at you and start like going at you.
Wait, no. What kind of arrow is it? What kind of arrow is it?
I think that I need to roll a persuasion check for me.
Oh yeah, I'm so charismatic.
I would say I will drop and like drop to like catch a hold of Silas to let him down, but not stay up at that
Yeah.
level.
19.
19? He like kind of stops and like kind of looks confusingly to like from you to Arthur, and then Father Monk runs over to you, Arthur, and helps Silas down.
Yeah.
And you see that he places a hand on Silas, and he kind of like checks him, and he says, "No, and he grabs his holy symbol, and you see a glow emanate from his hands. And then he looks confused. No, that should work. Why isn't that working? Silas!
What isn't working?
My healing magic, it's not working. It's as if he's already dead. How's that possible? And he tries casting another spell and is not able to.
I cast Detect Magic to see if there's magic that's keeping him from, specifically on Silas, to keep him from
You see that there is a bit of magic coming from the arrow in his neck.
I like have my hand ready, yank the arrow out and put my fingers there to see if I can see the magic, if it's coming from the arrow or it's just like coming from the wound or whatever.
It's coming from a substance that looks like was on the arrow, and there's remnants of it still, but is also in his body at this point.
Disarm the half Goliath, and I look at Alden and try to intimidate him with my commanding voice.
You don't have to. You don't have to
get him to disarm him.
It's okay. I put it down. We're fine. This is fine. I mean,
Alden,
there's a person dead, but clearly I didn't do it.
Alden extends his hand, and there's a quick whoosh of flame as a rapier appears in his hand, and he looks over to Sir Arthur and he says, "He did drop them."
Then bring the arrows over. We need them now.
Alden reaches down and grabs Joshua's arrows and runs over.
Those are on loan from the athletics department. I will need them back.
I shoot a withering stare over at Joshua.
Withering Stare is a great band name. I will say, when he hands you the arrows, you can immediately tell that they are not the same arrows.
Do you know?
Nigel, at this point, Nigel and Maria come running in.
As soon as they do, I hold on to the arrow. I run over to the ballroom door and stand in front of it.
Okay.
Now that I know that everyone's in here.
Okay. Yeah.
And I look around the room just to see what people are doing.
Sir Alden is, after being commanded by you, is kind of like looking at you expectantly. Jaina is kind of stepping off to the side, I would say, just kind of looking back. Rose has not fucking moved and is like stoically and very intently watching what's going on. Scarlet, what are you doing?
Scarlet first like found a bottle of wine that she knew was stashed nearby because she's been here before and refilled her wine. And then immediately kind of like took a seat back and started really watching everyone and how they were reacting to everything. And just like observing.
Okay, yeah. Nigel comes running over to, and as much as he can as an old man, comes running over to Silas. No, sir, Master Ravenhill, and he's like basically holding his boss's dead body, and he's crying and very upset. Gerald is still looking very confused, and like shaking his head. Maria is very scared and standing off to the side of the door.
Can I look to see if I can see where the arrow came from my position?
Roll a. You were right up on him. Roll a medicine check.
13.
13. What I will say is it doesn't feel like it came from the bottom. Like, it doesn't feel like it doesn't look like it came bottom up. It's either like straight on or like from the top, but it's not. Yeah.
I look at Orion. Orion, can you get up to that balcony over there? I point to
The balcony.
not the balcony where he was hit, but if there's is there a balcony across from?
No, there's just the one. There's just the one above the stage.
What's above the like directly facing towards the balcony where he was shot? Like is there a second
Chandeliers.
landing?
No, there's no second landing. There's chandeliers.
Then I don't do anything. I look at the chandeliers.
Yeah.
Can I get those arrows back, please?
I yell no.
But I mean,
No, not until we clear you.
Well, what about you being cleared?
I don't have a bow.
It doesn't really seem like enough evidence for you to be cleared.
Do you have a bow?
I mean,
No.
Then it looks like you're cleared.
Scarlet is right. This could have been handled in any sort of way. Maybe one of you has a man here.
No.
You can stab
That was
someone
a
with an
bad
arrow, can't you?
excuse. Oh.
From what distance? From where? From the front? From the front when there was only me and us looking up at him?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm weary of all of you.
Just not sure what makes you think that you're in charge here.
I'm the only person who tried to run and save him. The second we heard the news, immediately I ran to try and guard him and protect him, but he decided he wanted to teleport away for whatever reason.
Could have been a cover,
A cover to what? Kill him?
perhaps.
I've known him longer
Been a
than
good
you've
one.
been alive.
Is there any... How do I put this? Does the body look, aside from the obvious of being dead and having an arrow, look any like physically different than what we had just seen him as? Like physical appearance?
No, not at all.
Can anybody in here identify specific magics? Any of you scholars?
Jaina-
I didn't.
Jaina kind of raises her hand. I would be able to do that.
Come
We'll
over
go
here.
on then.
She slowly steps forward.
I hold the arrow that I pulled from his neck that has the magic on the tip of the arrow.
She looks
Tell
at
me
it.
what magic did this.
She waves her hand over it. It's a spell from the evocation school of magic. Specifically poison. Some kind of magical poison.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You know what? I think I figured that out for myself. Yeah. You can, Orion, you can give him his arrows back.
Alden
Thanks.
just kind of kicks them on the floor over to you.
No, don't be a dick. Give him back to him.
All right.
You know, it's okay. My self-esteem has already taken a real hit tonight, so, you know.
I think that's the least of our concerns.
Nigel kind of stands up. Which one of you did this?
That's what we're trying to figure out, Nigel. I would ask you where your whereabouts were for the past 10 minutes, just so we can cover all of our bases as we were all in here. Did you see anything?
I was
hear anything?
I was getting dinner ready.
Did you see or hear anything out of place?
No. I was in the kitchen ever since I left you in the study. And... oh... I just can't believe it. And he bends down.
Maria, were you with Nigel?
No. I was not with Nigel.
Where were you?
I was upstairs. Getting
Doing what?
getting the master's bedroom ready for the evening.
Does he usually go to bed at his own dinner party?
Just, I was preparing for when he eventually does.
Did Nigel tell you to do that?
He looks over. Yes. Yes, I did. Alden kind of speaks up. And he says, this was my uncle. Obviously, I would have no ill intent towards my uncle. So we can cross me off the list.
Is that obvious?
Who's that obvious to, exactly?
Well, it should be obvious to all of you. It's obvious to me.
I don't know you, so it's not obvious at all.
You also
well-
wouldn't be the first family member who would have killed their elder for a payout, but
Rose-
I doubt that you did it.
It's very true.
Rose speaks up for the first time. And she says, I don't think it's clears you at all. As a matter of fact, I believe it gives you motive. Did he not just say that his inheritance would be going to some random individual? I feel like that would do nothing but anger an arguable heir of the man. And Alden kind of speaks up. How dare you? How dare you?
I think maybe it's more conducive if we go around and say who for sure is not a suspect, which would be me, because I didn't know this was really happening 12 hours ago, and I also was here for really college credit, essentially, and no, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get that, so I'm at a loss because of the death, really.
How did your professor know Silas?
It's a great question that I do know the answer to. Hold on. To be honest, she didn't exactly have the most complimentary things to say, and thought that he was a little creepy, and was sort of always asking about spells. She found him annoying.
Who was asking about spells?
Silas.
What kind of spells?
I don't know. It's all the information I was told.
Well,
Well-
if not being the person invited clears you, then I'm certainly cleared as well.
Well, what about your father?
Well, he's fallen ill. I highly doubt he would have.
Well, you
had
also
time
did
to
have a-
orchestrate anything.
You also had a very physical relationship with him.
What?
Who?
Shaded.
Sorry, how dare you?
I was on an architectural tour of the theater once after a performance and saw her canoodling with Silas.
Is that
That
true?
has nothing to do with this. The two things have nothing to do with each other. I'm here on my father's behalf tonight.
How did your father get sick?
Oh.
He's just
what's he sick with?
recently fallen ill.
I'm gonna not due to anything other than pure instinct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll an insight on that.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I'll do it as
Oh
well.
no! I don't learn anything.
Emily, roll a persuasion or deception check. You don't have to tell Switch, you just have to tell us the
4.
result.
I got a 4, so my luck
I
is
got a
already-
17.
I mean,
Oh,
my
go with
modifier
that
is an 8, so
Yeah.
17.
Oh, well,
What?
I would say that she would set the DC, which means that Joshua, at least, would know if you are speaking the truth or not.
Yeah, he's just recently fallen ill.
Great.
But you are unsure if she's
There's
speaking the
something
truth,
going
Sir
around.
Arthur.
It's a real head, nose,
Yeah.
and throat thing.
Yeah.
Well, do you
he's
admit that
stubborn, he
you-
won't go to the doctor? He just doesn't feel.
Do you
really
admit that you
good.
were canoodling with my uncle?
Oh, perhaps once or twice, but
How old are you?
how old am I? How dare you?
And the man's 55. I'm curious.
My age has nothing to do with this.
Has a little bit to do with it.
Did your mother not teach you not to ask a woman her age?
My mother died when I was 5, so thanks
Oh.
for that.
Oh
Just-
my.
No, I totally get being suspicious, but also, finding older dudes attractive isn't exactly a mark of a murderer.
No,
Thank
but it does make fathers pretty angry. How old are
Oh,
you
that-
compared to him?
That has nothing to do with this.
All right, we're just going in circles. Nigel, is it true that we can't leave the manor? Nigel kind of shrugs and he says, I'm unaware of a method. Sir Ravenhill, Master Ravenhill, he placed an arcane lock on all of the exits and, well, I'm not quite sure how to break it.
Well, and I'm certainly not moving away from this door until we have an immensely good reason to leave this room.
Alden then kind of shrugs and says, my God, man, you just heard that we can't leave the manor. At least allow us to be able to walk around and get some drinks.
Do you want a drink right now?
Well, yes,
After
of
your
course.
uncle has been killed?
Well, it's a stressful event.
It's a stressful time. I think a lot of people do turn to drink when they're going through grief.
Have any of you ever done anything real with your life? Have you ever done anything right now?
Rose,
Because right now
Sorry.
there's a murderer
I've
that could be in this room.
I've won many local contests for many different things. Archery being the most prevalent. That's real.
Rose looks over at you and she says, well, at the very least, we could see if there's ways to find any more information in any of the other rooms. I mean, perhaps
Until-
some of the other rooms have information on who this might be.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
but
we
until I
should
have a good
search.
reason to move away from this door, a good enough lead for us to be off by ourselves.
Well, we can be part of the buddy system.
Yeah,
That
which
way,
is
if one of us
essentially
dies, we know who it is.
I don't know why, in this moment, you choose to chuckle about that. My friend is dead.
I'm trying to make levity of the situation.
Right.
My
So unless we have a
apologies.
reason to leave this room,
Evidence.
To look for clues and evidence of who this perpetrator might be.
all of the clues currently are in this room. What clues could there be outside of this room? Nigel? Maria?
Nigel kind of shrugs, and Maria looks very scared. Alden says, Well, perhaps there's documentation or something of some sort.
I'm gonna look to see if there's a secret way out of this room.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I do give a thumbs up to him, and I go, "That's a good idea."
T5.
25. You do notice that there, over here, is a little backstage area behind these curtains, but you do not notice a secret passage out of the room. But would you like to go into the backstage area?
Yes.
Boop.
Whoa.
You go back here and you immediately see all kinds of older costumes and props and stuff from shows that have been put on here in this ballroom. And it doesn't look regularly used, but there's a bunch of stuff in here. Also, the stream can't see it right now. Sorry, let me show them. Now that we're actually starting to move around a little. There you are, stream. That's what we're seeing.
How tall are like the ceilings back here, roughly? Does it like go up to basically like where he would have been standing?
It goes up to the floor of the balcony. Yeah.
Okay.
And you also, with a 25 investigation check,
Fucking sick roll.
you see a portrait. And at first you just kind of glance over it, but then it like draws your attention back. And it is a portrait of a young woman, long braided black hair. And you think and you look, it is the spitting image of a younger Rose.
Okay. I'll stick my head back out through the curtain. Excuse me, I do think that I found this evidence that you're super interested in finding.
What is it?
A painting.
Why would a painting be helpful?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna bring it back, and then through the curtain. Look! Doesn't this look like...
Yeah, a lot like you, Miss Fireheart.
Rose, her eyes genuinely widen. This is the first time you've kind of seen her off base. Well, that's surprising.
How did you know Silas?
Well, don't you know I'm his daughter who never was?
Oh.
I mean, does that mean are you blood related to him, or
I am
were
his
you
daughter.
in spirit?
Oh,
And
is this your mother?
no, I don't think so. I think it's me. It could be my mother. I live in Harrisburg.
Of course.
A wise way, and well, my mother told me who my father was, and I came here to confront him.
Confront him about what?
Being my father, but never being there. Alden kind of puts up his hands and says, motive, perhaps?
You're pretty jumpy on laying blame and or not taking blame, so you might want to stop that, because now I'm getting anxious that you're just trying to cast blame away from everyone except for you.
I use this to slink back, doing more investigation. This room is tense.
Yes, you do notice that you can get out that way. So you see a door there that leads to a hallway that leads to the main area, and then there's a door right across the way as well.
Oh man, I'm really adventuring. What's in this little...
Joshua?
In that little room,
he hasn't come back out yet.
He has not come back out yet, and you do notice that. In this little room, it seems to be a storage room, basically a storage closet.
Oh, okay.
Joshua, you found anything back there?
You hear his voice kind of far away at this point.
Not anymore.
Alden, go get Joshua.
Alden.
Is there anything? I mean, is there anything hit? No, never mind. I don't want to see.
Alden comes out here and he stops you at the door.
Oh,
he
hello.
Says, oh,
Hi.
thank God, you found a way out of here. That man is crazy.
Very intense energy.
For all we know, he did it. He was the one that was closest to him, was he not?
I suggested that at the beginning, and then he looked at me like he would actually wear my face like a mask, so I decided not to say anything else to him.
Well, watch this. And he's gonna go over to the door, would you be honest? Because I don't want to decide for you. Do you think you'd be standing strong? Do you think you'd be leaning on the door?
Oh, he's standing up.
Okay,
He's
cool.
Because he's
then,
ready to like.
For sure.
He's standing in front of it because who's gonna walk up to a knight in plate armor?
For sure, yeah.
I can knock you over.
The door opens very quickly behind you.
I draw my sword, and thrust it forward, not in a stab, but like to
point at whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and too fast, like shields off the back.
He opens the door to like scare you. He goes, "Ah!" And then you do that, and he goes, "Oh!" And he like jumps back. My goodness!
I will kill you where you stand. Don't ever sneak up on somebody who definitely is armed again.
He takes a step back. All right. Everyone, the doors are open. You're free. And he just kind of like turns his back and he starts to walk away.
It's a great time to actually go investigate stuff.
I'm going to cast
Arthur, you're losing all control.
And it says
You're gonna cast what? Sorry.
Locate object.
Okay. Yeah.
And it says like alternatively the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind.
Okay.
So can I locate object on that kind of arrow, like the poison arrow? Or
yes.
even just like specifically that like exact kind of arrow.
Is a poison an object? I feel like poison is an object.
I'm gonna allow you to do it on the poison because
Sure, yeah.
You cast locate object and you feel a ping coming from this doorway.
I have my character sheet up on level 20.
This doorway right here. As this is happening, Gregor pulls out. Gregor? Gerald.
I was like, who did I miss? That's named
Gerald pulls out a bloody letter. Kind of obviously. And he takes a look at it and he opens it up. And he starts to read. And then he like looks up and he looks directly at Maria, Arthur.
We'll have that letter there, Father. What does it say?
Yes, of course. He walks over and he hands you the letter. It is, I don't know, we don't have the exact words, but it is very obviously a love letter to Maria from Silas.
I fold the letter, put it in my cloak. Since we've already established that we can get around, I guess there is no harm in investigating, but we should be in groups.
Rose walks up to you and says, I'll walk with you then.
Yes, Maria, will you join us? I'd like to see your master's bedroom.
Right, yeah, I can show you, she says. Jaina walks up to you, Scarlet, and says, can I walk with you?
Sure, I know the rest of the arrows are. Let's go. She
All right.
starts walking.
She starts walking with you. Nigel is... There's two Nigels. Alden, hearing this, kind of like looks over at you, Joshua. Mind if I tag along?
Sure. Do you have a lot of experience in venturing, and can I take notes?
Yes, and sure.
Awesome. Cool. This is going to be a great partnership.
He kind of chuckles. Nigel starts to walk with Arthur.
Nigel,
And yeah.
did you find anything else on your master?
Not on his person, no. Not even his weapons.
Does he usually carry those?
Especially recently.
Father,
Yes.
I don't think that body is going to get any warmer. Why don't you join the investigation?
Right. I'll join the lovely women.
All right.
So first and foremost, we'll go with Alden and Joshua. Do you expect him to lead you, or do you lead him?
I think I go in with the instinct that he's going to lead, but my excitement takes over and I end up doing it.
Okay, yeah. So where do you go?
What is this? Is this like a little staircase?
Yes, that is the
thing?
staircase. That's the staircase to the second floor. Yeah.
Okay. And then could you remind me? I'm so sorry. What this area was? Was that where that was this? No, that's not.
Actually, yeah, I would say you would have seen into these areas. I'll just reveal them to you. The one down below, closest to the staircase, is the kitchen, and then the one closest to the ballroom is the dining room.
Okay. I guess in that case, I will start investigating the kitchen.
Okay, so you and Alden enter the kitchen, and coming in right behind you is Scarlet, Jaina, and Gerald, as the locate object is coming from the kitchen. Sir Arthur, where do you guys go?
I have Maria lead us to the bedroom.
Oh yes, which is to the second floor.
And if there's a moment, I'd like to sneakily ask Maria if there was a relationship that was more than servant and master between her and Silas.
Yes, easily enough. The two of you are walking here. I'll show you. I've moved your token for you. I'll show you what you see up here. Over here to the right, you will see the second floor. Do, 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 do.
Oh my god, I see the dragon on the floor and I immediately slam her.
As she's walking with you, she says, she gets a little emotional. I'm embarrassed to say it, Sir Pierce, but yes. Silas and I were lovers.
How long?
About a year's time now. And I'm afraid, Sir Pierce,
Afraid of what?
that Miss Windsor, I think she was jealous of me.
How do you know she knew?
I guess I don't. She just seems like a smart lady.
Did you know that Silas and Miss Windsor had once had a brief relationship?
I did know that.
How long after did you and he start seeing each other?
You're mistaken, Sir Pierce. They've never stopped. As far as I know, he was still seeing her.
I see.
That's why I was a little upset when she arrived.
I see. Is the relationship between Miss Windsor and him known?
Oh
Because
no.
I didn't know. I didn't know about it.
Oh no. Oh no. In fact, I mean, we were joking earlier, but in all honesty, would be considered quite taboo.
And before we get to the bedroom, like the last thing I say, as I lean down, and I go, "I'll keep you safe."
Thank you, Sir Pierce. I appreciate that very much. And she takes you over to this far doorway over here, which is going to be the bedroom. But we will cut away from that as we go back to the kitchen. Scarlet, you are getting a ping of that same magic from underneath one of the counters. And you find a bucket, like it looks like a mop bucket, with a smashed vial inside that seems to have held a large amount of this poison.
I immediately pull it out dramatically and say, "It's in the kitchen. It must have been that servant girl, Maria. I've never trusted her."
Whoa.
And then
Oh
I'll
my.
toss it down in front of everybody to see.
Well, I mean,
That was really dramatic.
wasn't she?
A man has been killed. What do you expect?
No. Okay.
Wasn't she
Okay.
upstairs?
Well, we don't know when this happened.
Well,
Perhaps she has an accomplice.
Gerald says, "It's not entirely out of the picture."
I mean, I understand. Like, this, I understand you're embarrassed about all the canoodles that I witnessed and then told subsequent people about.
I am
But-
not embarrassed.
Okay. But I think what's important here is that we work together, and I'm feeling a lot of, animosity, and I just don't want to. I just want to get back to my dorm.
Yes, I understand where you're coming from, but somebody here is a murderer.
So what do we do with this information?
Well, I think first we ask that girl where she was. We get the truth out of her somehow.
All right. I suppose you're right.
Somebody go fetch her.
Well,
You know what's really crazy is that you also have these things called legs and these things called a voice, and you can walk
Oh,
and
so
talk
you
and
will
do
go
that.
fetch her. Thank you very much.
Oh, I got nothing to lose. Lady, you need to get over yourself, go fuck yourself, and go upstairs and talk to this person because I'm just tired of this at this point. Also, your performance was not that great.
oh my! Alden says and covers his mouth.
I really agreed with that 2.5-star review in the local paper.
A groundskeeper outside goes, "Damn!" Keeps going.
No, it's okay. You have a real natural presence, but when you kind of stay at a 10 the entire performance, it just kind of gets overwhelming, and it's like you need to have peaks and valleys when it comes to artistic expression.
Holy shit!
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Cool.
Please excuse me. She runs off to like the
Awesome.
bathroom.
I feel proud of myself.
Where do you run to?
Theater
I don't know.
school.
Is there a bathroom?
Not on this floor.
I would know where it is.
So
Right.
you run up to the second floor.
Yeah.
Okay. You run up to the second floor. You'll get to the hallway there. There you go. Jaina comes running after you. Gerald kind of stays there. And then starts to wander over to the study. Alden looks at you. Well, that was amazing. And he puts up a hand for a high five.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, totally. No, I think that
Really
you
told her how it
there's a-
is.
Well, there's a line, you can be an asshole up to a certain point, and if your talent is so great that it excuses you, can be like, oh, well, they're super talented, but she's not that talented to excuse her being just a monster of a person.
Wow, that's... I wish I had that kind of confidence. Where should we go next?
Get my eye on the butler.
Oh. So we need to go to the second floor then?
Wasn't... Oh, sorry. I thought this
Nice.
was... That's the...
Yeah, Yeah, that's
Nigel
the
is with
that's
me.
the father. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm keeping my eye on him.
Oh right, yes. And he starts to
That's who
follow
I
you. So yeah, you guys get a little bit closer to him. We jump back to the bedroom as the doors open, and you see the following. And you walk in. She leads you into this room.
I'd like to immediately look around to see if this room looks indeed like someone made it up, as she said that she did.
It looks very freshly made. Yes. The bed is made. It smells delightful. There's like fresh flowers in a vase. It looks pristine.
I look in the bathroom and see if there's anything of note in the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom,
And then I go into the bathroom.
yes. You
Why
go
I
in.
wear armor.
You go into the bathroom.
That's
and
the reason?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
All right, come on, baby. 19.
19. You go to the cabinet underneath the sink and just
Mhm.
kind of instinctively, you pull that open and you notice that there is a false backing on the back of this cabinet. And you pull it back and you see a circular handle for like a vault door
Mm-hmm.
almost, and a keyhole.
I move the false back,
Move the false back.
close, and just like keep note of it and come on out. Is there anything else of note that I would? What is that room off to the side? Is that
You
the
can check
closet?
you can check the desk. Yeah, that's his private desk.
Yeah, I walk over to the private desk, and I also like grab Molly and move her in front of me to like come with me. Not like
You mean Maria?
not like yeah. Why did I say Molly?
I don't know.
Just like move her into that room to keep her by my side
Yeah.
as much as possible.
You both walk over to the desk. You look throughout the desk. You see some letters and documents of his day-to-day business, which you are already pretty much aware of. Lots of working with the mayor and other town officials to better the town. His winery business is a big deal, and that's how he gets a lot of money. And there's a lot of documentation about that. In a drawer that is like, it's locked, but it's like it's not actually like it's one of those locks that like you just stick a flat object in it and you turn it. You just kind of like jiggle the drawer and kind of pull it loose, and you find a scroll in this desk. And it is a scroll. This is not. Let me be clear. This is not a magical scroll, as in like an item that can be used. It is a documentation of what the spell is, if that makes sense. And it is a documentation of the spell True Polymorph.
I put that in my cloak with the bloody letter. Do I see any sort of key anywhere?
Yes, you also see a key in this drawer.
Does it look like it matches the lock that I saw?
Yes.
Just like on a cursory glance?
Yeah.
I grab that. Molly, is there... Molly, why did I do that?
I don't know.
Hear what you want to hear.
I think it's the red hair. I'm thinking of Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's the only... I look at Maria. Is there anywhere else he has anything that Nigel or Miss Fireheart can look Is there anything there he stashes anything that you might know of?
I'm not sure. I don't really rightly know of any stashes. There's his main office.
Is the study downstairs? Yeah.
No, next door. We also call it the library, but he works there from time to time.
All right. Did you find anything out there, Nigel, Miss Fireheart?
As you say that, through the door, knowing where the only bathroom in this house is, apparently, according to the map, you see Scarlet come running into the door, and she is crying, I'm assuming?
I move. I like keep Molly in that back room.
Maria!
Molly! Why?
So
I don't
funny.
even know a Molly!
Her name's just Molly now, okay?
Alright, her name's Molly, fine. Her name's Molly.
What? Now I'll only say Maria.
Maybe because Molly kind of sounds Irish, and she kind of looks
He has
Irish.
2 names.
Yeah, for sure.
Her name's
It's Molly Maria. But my nickname is Molly.
Molly Maria.
I keep Maria in the room as I like move forward as I see her come in, keeping the key on me. But I just like watch as Scarlet runs into the room.
Do you run to the bathroom?
I would, yeah. I have like a kind of a dramatic fan, hide my face and say, "Everybody out of my way, I need a moment."
What for? Did something happen?
I'm just feeling a bit fragile. A man just died. I just need to catch my breath. May I have a moment, please?
You weren't very fragile when it happened in the moment.
Well, I've been a little stunned. Have you seen someone die in front of you before?
Yes.
Well, I have not.
Okay. Have you been crying?
Give me a
Because it looks
moment,
like you've been
please.
crying. Are you okay? Like, did something happen beyond the murder?
No, talking to everybody brought up a lot, and I just need a moment, please. Fine. And I'll walk out of the room and go, I don't know, what's this room?
This room is the main office. You walk towards this room.
Yeah, I would just storm in there instead.
Yeah. And
There's a guy!
you see a large statue, which you know to be there, a large suit of armor. But you walk in and you see, you've been in this room before, you see his desk. Jaina kind of follows you.
Nigel, will you please
And
go
she
check
shuts,
on
and she looks,
this
and she
window?
like opens the door, and she says, "I won't let anyone in," and she shuts the door.
Nigel, will you please go check on Miss Windsor?
Yes, of course. And he walks away. Rose looks over at you. I know you're just trying your best, but bedside manner is a thing.
Okay, I'm not an investigator. Haven't been for quite some time, so I guess you're right. I'm a little rusty at it, but also everyone's a suspect in here. Even you, even Maria. I had to pause because I was legitimately about to call her
Maria kind of like looks over to you. I'm a suspect.
Everyone is. I mean, I can't. Even I am, I guess. But
Right. I guess.
he did say it was one of us. So,
I suppose you're right.
Rose. I'm sorry. Can I call you Rose?
Sure. Yes, you can call me Rose.
So, what do you do?
I don't do anything.
You don't breathe or walk or sit or.
I work in ways that I gotta work to get myself taken care of. Alright? I don't usually dress like this. This isn't my normal attire. I don't usually talk all prim and proper like you lot. Alright? I'm not from the good part of Harrisburg. Okay? And,
Well, you from Philadelphia?
very funny. We hate Philadelphia.
No, I know. That's the joke.
Silas had his way with my mom years ago, and just decided he could forget about me until I saw that fucking portrait down there, either of my mom or a younger me. I don't know, did he actually care or something? And you see like a little bit of regret in her face.
I'm sure he did. He was a scoundrel when he was younger, but he was full of a lot of his own regrets. So, what kinds of work do you do? Don't worry, I'm not the most officially on the clock right now.
I sell whatever part of myself I need to sell, Sir Knight.
Oh, is that illegal in Harrisburg? Because that's not illegal here.
No, it's not illegal, but it's not necessarily something that you lot are usually fine with.
Yeah, well, lawmakers are working on that, but you're right. You're right, I get that.
I thought if you all knew what I was really like, you'd suspect me even more.
No. No, that doesn't seem like a motive to me. The slight on your mother is more of a motive than you and your line of work. If we're honest.
Right.
I'd like to think we're being honest.
I've been nothing but since 10 seconds ago.
Insight!
And she rolled insight check.
16.
16. You feel like she's actually being truthful to you.
Great.
As this is happening, we cut back over to Gerald downstairs, walking into the study. He just kind of starts like looking around. And what do you do, Joshua? Actually, Alden looks at you, and he says, "Right. So adventuring lesson number 1. It's best to be never seen and never heard than seen and
Then
heard. Mm-hmm. So, watch this." And he goes over to the door, and he's just going to try to stealth follow Gerald. What do you
looking
do?
very intent. I'm watching very intently.
You're watching very intently. Beautiful. That disappeared.
I have to write a paper after this, so I really need to take very careful observations.
He actually doesn't do too bad. He gets an 18. So you see him pretty stealthily get into the door, open it up just a crack, and he slips in very silently, and you lose eyesight of him.
I didn't think this far ahead. I'll creep forward a little bit, so like I'm trying to get still, so he's in my line of sight still.
Okay, he's like closed the door a crack. It kind of looks like it does on the map there.
Okay. I will try to.
You can just like stay outside and open the door if you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
still go ahead and roll a stealth check. But not a super high
Natural
DC.
1!
Oh. So you go to pull the door and you just kind of lose balance and just like swing the door wide open and like trip and hit yourself and like fall down on the ground. Gerald immediately turns around. Oh, you startled me, lad.
Bad day for me.
Well, what are you doing in here?
Continuing the search for clues.
Oh, yes. Well, good.
You're not also interested in doing that? Are you just kind of cool with that?
Nope, I'm looking around as well. And he starts to kind of like look around the room.
All right.
You look over and you see Alden kind of over in the corner, and he like shakes his head over in your direction.
Fair.
And Alden steps forward and he says, "Yes, let's see what we can find, huh?" And Gerald kind of, oh, goodness. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Would I get advantage because I'm being helped by, well, who
yeah.
knows if they're helping me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be a 16.
You find a journal that is under the coffee table and seems to have just kind of like been missed, like just like it's discarded underneath the coffee table. And you take it out, or do you?
Yeah.
Do you open it up?
Yes.
You see that it is feminine writing. You go to the front page, property of Jaina Warden.
Oh, I'm going to keep reading for sure.
Do you go to like the first entry, the last entry?
I think I skim it as best as I...
You skim it, you go through some like a lot of school stuff, and then...
Does she talk about the fact that... I want to know her reasoning as to why she's not going to join the future adventurers.
She starts to talk about meeting someone. She starts to talk about meeting a boy named Alden Orion. She starts to talk about the fact that she really likes him. She talks about the fact that it's hard to like be with each other and like each other because they live so far apart. Talking about how he finds out that he's the nephew of Silas Ravenhill, and she kind of fantasizes how if they were...
Slam the book shut! I go running. I'm gonna book it upstairs.
Okay, so you just book it out of the room and you start running upstairs. Meanwhile, Scarlett, what are you doing in this room alone?
So, like, as soon as the door shuts, Scarlett would, like, pull herself together pretty quickly. Like, the tears were not fake, but they were very exaggerated. And she continues to, like, sound like she's crying as she
but she's like straight...
rifles... exactly. Like, over dramatic. As she, like, starts to rifle through his desk and look at what's on top of his desk.
This is actually like a pretty communal desk, so you know that there's nothing too personal from him here, but you do find a letter. And this is a letter to another woman who, her name's Heather. And it is quite frankly, it's a goodbye letter. A letter of someone saying goodbye, I love you, just trust my decision. This is the last you're gonna hear from me, but I'm okay. Just be happy, blah blah blah. And it is signed by Maria. And it is to her mother, it seems.
I am going to put that into one of my many layers of over extravagant.
Yeah.
And storm back out the door.
Okay. You see Jaina and Nigel there.
Where is that Maria girl?
Well, she's in the other room, Miss Scarlett.
Just storm in there.
You walk over there. You guys are still probably like chatting.
Yeah, the next thing I was going to do was to go to the bathroom, but she probably came in before I did that.
Yeah, that conversation lasted a hot second. So Miss Scarlett comes right back into the room.
Did you find anything?
I did. You, girl. What do you know about what was under the sink in the kitchen? And don't lie to me.
I can't really say I have any idea what you're talking about.
She wasn't in the kitchen. Nigel was in the kitchen.
I didn't ask if she was in the kitchen. I asked if she knew of what was in the kitchen.
There's food, wine.
Was there something else you found in the kitchen that you're trying to get her to admit to?
And tell me, why would you be saying goodbye to your mother?
Fair question.
She looks genuinely confused when you say that.
I'll pull out the letter.
I'll
It's
have.
all written right here.
I'll take a look at that.
I'll hand it over.
I read the letter just to get on the same page.
For sure, yeah.
Is that your handwriting? Because that is Maria.
I I've never seen that letter before in my life.
Insight,
Insight.
come on.
Both of you roll insight checks.
Come on, Maria. I went to bat for you. 14.
You both think that she's telling the truth.
So, do you know anyone named Heather?
Yes, that's my mother.
This is
Do you have
not
any
your
reason to think
handwriting.
somebody might do this?
It looks like my handwriting, but I've never seen it before.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic on it.
Okay, yeah. You cast Detect Magic. Your
Yeah.
eyes kind of flash over with arcane energy. You don't notice any amount of magic on the paper. At the angle that you are at, you do notice some magic coming from that false cabinet area in the bathroom. But in this room, that's it.
Hmm. Oh, Maria, this is pretty damning.
I will say forgery is easy enough.
Oh, really?
Not that I want to defend her. I give her like a
Well, of course you
natural.
don't, because you've always hated me.
Oh, and why do you think that is?
Because you're a jealous prude.
Oh no, not I. Because you were always around and you were convenient.
You
And I
were
could not do
mad.
that, I'm simply too
It made
busy.
it. You were mad at Silas
For what?
for loving me.
Ah, that's adorable. Truly adorable.
How long were you and Silas seeing each other? I asked to you, Scarlet.
A while.
How long?
Oh, I would say at least a year.
At least a year. How did you all get in contact beyond, meetings that he's probably had with your father at some point and seeing you at those? When did you have contact outside of that?
It doesn't take many times having contact with me to remember and reach out.
So he reached out to you?
Of course he did.
Gotcha. How do you know that forgeries are so easy?
Well, my dear, I'm in show business. I know people with all kinds of talents.
You do? How many do you know can commit forgery of someone who they barely know?
Someone they barely know? Not many. Someone they know intimately or well at all? Several.
So you could pay people to do that?
I could, yes. I would not.
And this time, Joshua runs into the door.
And some really quality adventuring today. Okay, so,
Alden comes running up behind him.
sir, I have something to tell you in particular, because
Who?
You-
The actual sir or
the actual
yeah.
sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay, come here.
No, I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm like staying in between Scarlet and Maria.
Yeah.
I'm good right here. What's
Just
up,
take-
buddy? You can come over here.
You should take an improv class. They teach you this thing called yes, and then also and I'll come up and I'll show the book.
Too close, and I push it back a little bit.
Okay.
No,
to keep
the
so that
book.
no one else-
I push the book back a little bit. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
right
I was just trying to make sure no one else saw.
Yeah, no, I got it. And what exactly? What page am I seeing? here?
You are seeing Jaina talking about her love, Alden Orion, and how she's fantasizing that if only Alden could inherit Silas's estate, it'll give reason for Alden to come to Faramore and a place for them to live together, and that would be really great.
What does this handwriting look like?
Different than the handwriting in the letter,
Okay.
if that's your question.
Yes,
Which I
that is
assumed
the
it was.
question.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that doesn't look good for you, Jaina, or you, Alden. How long have you two been connected?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
This is a journal that says that you.
Where did you
wish
get that? And she like comes over and tries to grab it.
And I like stick my hand out. And
That's
go,
my
On the-
personal journal.
I
It was on the
understand.
floor.
It was found.
It was on the floor.
Where?
Downstairs in the study area.
Okay, well I must have dropped it.
Do you carry your journal on you when you travel?
Yes, it's my personal belonging.
So what's yours? Okay, so she admitted to a lie. That's what we did. We caught her in a lie. Very important.
What did I lie about?
What lie?
Did you say, oh no, I don't, we have no connection, but then you're saying that this is your journal and this journal does say that that is the connection between you two?
You see her face go red.
Well, I got you there. I
Okay, well,
would suggest you start
that's
telling
beside
You
the
should
point.
have gone to
That's-
class.
Well, that's beside the point. That's still my personal journal.
Okay, so what were you doing in the study before? Was that just where you were the whole time when you got here? Just immediately in the study and your journal fell out and you didn't realize it?
Yes, I suppose so. That's exactly it.
Well, it's not your journal anymore. It's evidence.
Well, it's also her journal. That's like they're the same thing. But that was a good line. That was
Okay.
a good line.
And tell me, Jaina, what were you doing lurking outside the property a few days ago?
What? What are you talking about?
I saw you. You were watching. You were right on the outskirts of the property. You were watching the house.
She seems taken aback. I was meeting Alden.
Why?
I wanted to visit my uncle and I lost the nerve, Alden says as he walks up.
Insight.
Roll an insight check.
I'll give you advantage on that. I would want the same thing.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right now, I still think Scarlet is the most dangerous
a
person in the
19
room.
plus 1, 20.
20. He seems to be trying to cover up for her. It seems that he doesn't know the answer. He doesn't know why she was there, and he's covering up.
I think you should consider telling the truth.
I was here. I was here because I was trying to blackmail Silas.
With what?
The existence of her. He points over at Rose. Oh fuck, Rose says. I thought maybe if I blackmailed him, I could convince him to let me and Alden inherit his estate. And Alden says, Jane, is that true? And Jana kind of nods her head. And then Rose says, and he said no, and you got pissed, and you killed him.
No. I don't think that's true. Did he say no? Or you never met?
Jana says, we met. He laughed me out of the room. I was surprised that I was still invited tonight.
Well, he had reason to believe that somebody here wanted to kill him. So it seems to make perfect sense to me that you would be invited.
While they're talking, I'm gonna duck out of the room.
Okay, yeah, you duck out of the room. Nigel says, did you kill Master Silas? Maria says, I can't believe it. I can't believe you do it, Jaina. As they say that,
Can I, before that happens, I look at Scarlet? Scarlet, you came in here making accusations about something that was found in the kitchen. What did you find in the kitchen?
I found poison identical to the poison used to kill him.
Nigel, you said you were preparing dinner in the kitchen, yeah?
Well, yes, I was.
Do you want to explain to me how you could have missed I'm guessing it was a vial of poison?
I mean, it was underneath a cabinet and in a mop bucket. But yes.
I mean, the only other person who was in there was you, so can you...
And I had no idea it was in there.
Insight?
Roll an insight check, yeah.
Can I give advantage or
Yeah.
also roll?
Yeah, you're both part of this
Please,
questioning.
God. Advantage. Oh, thank God for advantage. That's 16. I rolled an
With
8
a
the first
16, you feel like he's telling the truth,
time.
but you also feel like there is something he's holding back.
Now is the time to make sure that we have all the details to make sure that we don't suspect you, Nigel. I've known you for years.
Yes,
seen me
so
come and
often
go
you
here.
have.
I know. But I need to know that you have told me everything you know. All right, I'll believe you that you didn't know the poison was there, and that's because I trust you and have known you for years. But I know you well enough to know that there's something you're not telling me.
I want to look at him and at Maria and say, I want to know everything that you both know. And I'm going to cast a second level charm person and try to charm both of them.
Okay, what is the saving throw on these?
It's a wisdom save, 14.
Okay. Maria fails. Oh wait, sorry, actually, Maria... Oh, sorry, no, Maria does not fail.
Excuse me. Jesus.
But Gerald most certainly does. Yeah, with a 9, Gerald does fail.
Okay.
Not Gerald, Nigel. Sorry, Nigel. As this is happening, Joshua, where do you go?
I'm realizing that there's a whole part of this house that I don't think that I've seen.
Okay.
So I'm curious, and I think that part could be. Is there anything? What's going on over here?
So over here, you poke your head in through these curtains over here, and you see the entrance to the balcony that Silas was standing on, and you look down and you see the ballroom below.
I guess I'll actually investigate this little area to see if there's anything that was just missing or wasn't noticed.
Sure, roll an investigation check.
Okay. Where did I? Oh God, I misplaced my dice.
Silas is just hiding behind the couch going, haha, just kidding, it's all a game.
21.
21. You notice that there are fresh indents in the rug that look like footprints that are heading from the balcony towards the curtains that you used to enter within the last hour.
Follow the footprints.
The footprints, you only see them because they're on the carpet, so the footprints just lead out of the room. But what that does let you know is the lights were only off for a second. When they came back on, he was standing right where he was. He had an arrow in his neck, and he fell forward. So you don't think the footsteps were his. So you think the footsteps belong to somebody else, which means at the time of the murder, somebody ran across this carpet. And there's only 2 people who weren't in the room at the time of the murder, Nigel and Maria.
How big are how can I see how big the feet are in the
with the 20
impressions?
With the 21, I think you said
21 because it was 15 plus.
I'll say that they look smaller than yours.
Excuse me, I'll call across the hall. Can we get a suspect meeting? Follow my voice, please.
What is a suspect meeting, man?
I found footprints of the would-be murderer or murderess.
I'm gonna, knowing that it worked on Nigel, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna look at him and say, "Well, go on, do everything he says."
Nigel just immediately bows and starts to head towards.
We're all gonna go in that direction. I do need to use the bathroom before we do that. It's gonna take me a minute.
It's not suspicious at all.
Do you see the amount of armor that I'm in? It takes me a minute.
Okay, so Scarlet, where do you go?
I will also go onto the balcony.
Okay. Alden will as well, so will Jaina.
I'm standing kind of like right inside the entrance with my arms out, like I'm like doing security detail.
Gotcha.
No.
So will Rose. What is it? Yeah.
I do say, Maria, just wait for me right outside the door for a second. I might need to hand you some armor pieces. Give me a second.
Right. And she nods her head and stays in here, right outside the bathroom.
When I go into the bathroom, I take the key and open the false.
You turn the. It's like because of the section of the false cabinet is only like 2 by 2 feet.
Is there
so
running water?
No, there's not running water. So you
I'm sorry. I should ask. Can I make there be running water?
What do you mean? Oh,
is it a running water?
Is there a faucet? Yes, you can run water to make some noise. Yeah.
Yeah, I make a little bit of noise when I do that.
You turn the wheel to the left. The entire bathroom wall starts to swing open. The water goes with it.
Okay.
And behind you see a vault. And in this vault, you see a lot of stuff that has gone missing recently in the place where you work, from public arenas. You basically see what is attuned to Silas's stash the first time that you caught him. You immediately, as a grizzled and former investigator, royal guardsman, you immediately know that this is like a criminal stash.
Is there anything that I see of note that pertains to right here and now, like the people among me that I can see without like going in because I am still going to the bathroom? I do. In that moment, I take off one of my gauntlets.
Yeah.
And I go, Maria, I'm so sorry. Can I just...
She holds it.
Thank you.
You see, like I said,
and I keep the door shut.
Yeah, you see a stolen item from the royal family. You also notice that there's a large chunk of it that is like packed and bagged.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also like bags of clothing and like rations and other stuff in here.
Can I see if it's like Silas size clothing or somebody else size clothing?
Silas size clothing. Okay.
And there's nothing else that pertains to anybody that I could...
No.
Other than the royal family and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. I shut it. And when it shuts, I take off a piece of my hair. I place it... like I do the thing where you lick it and you put it on the crack of a wall. Or does anybody know what I'm talking about? The trick to see if anybody gets through a door, you take off a piece of hair, you lick it, you put it along a crack, and then if that hair's not there, somebody's got it.
Break your mama's back, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I do that. I keep the key on me.
Okay.
In case there's like a copy for whatever reason there would be. I flush the toilet, walk out adjusting my cod piece, I guess, and go, thank you. This one's always been loose.
Right, no problem.
Put it back on. Let's see what that's all about.
And as you head over, we cut back to what would have been happening in the meantime, as Joshua is currently stopping everyone from going past the gardens.
I'm holding until we have everybody present.
Okay, so you all wait about 3.5 to 4 minutes in silence, and then Arthur and Maria show up.
Even you didn't think about it.
Thanks for waiting. What's going on? Okay. Don't.
I have found footprints that could only exist. I'm going to start that over. I found footprints that could only belong to the murderer. Because
I look at
when,
Nigel and say, "Well, take off
because-
your shoe."
Nigel looks at you. Well, it's only sensical. And he bends down, struggling, but starts to take off his shoes.
Can someone help him? The man
I'll very quickly like get this and then like not place it on the carpet, but just kind of like next to it.
His foot's bigger than yours.
Great.
Damn.
I have my bow out. So Maria, no pressure. I just need you to come over
now.
and
Put
compare
your
feet.
weapon away. Let's put
She
your weapon
she steps
away.
behind Sir Arthur.
Put your weapon away, but we don't need that yet. But Maria, he's right. Just give us your shoe. Let's make sure we cover all bases so we know that you're innocent for sure.
Right. Okay. She steps over and
I have a hand on her to keep her balance while she gets the shoe off,
Yeah,
but
she gets
also
the
to be
shoe
like,
off.
just in case.
she gets
I'm
the
ready
shoe
to
off.
grab a.
She hovers her foot next to the footprint, and it looks to be pretty similar in size.
Bad luck.
Well, there you have it.
Oh no! Hold on.
No,
Quick
I was
question.
just listen. I was just sneaking in and listening in on the ballroom. I wanted to hear what Silas was talking about. I didn't kill him.
Okay.
And
So
why
what
should
did-
we believe that?
Because it's the truth. I don't know.
I'll roll insight on that. I think she's telling the truth based on the letter that I read.
Yeah,
but-
roll insight.
Oh, 17.
You sense that she is not telling the truth.
I ask her. Okay, you know what? I believe her. I believe her. So you wanted to hear and listen. Then what happened next?
I went to the bedroom and started making it up.
Did you hear anything or see anything?
No.
Okay. Oh, real quick, light retcon. I don't know if this matters. Was my detect magic still up while I was in the vault?
Is detect magic a length of time or is it just a brief?
I don't remember.
Should say on the spell.
Check. Concentration up to 10 minutes.
So yes.
What magic stuff did I detect in there, or was it just like because there's treasure, there's some that is magical?
Because there's treasure, there's some that is magical. Nothing crazy or like making you think otherwise.
Okay, cool. So you went back into the bedroom before or after the arrow hit?
Well, before all I really heard was the beginning of the speech.
Gotcha. And so you ran to the bedroom at what point during the speech?
Well, after he said that he felt that someone meant him harm, I thought maybe I shouldn't be listening.
Well, we probably would have seen that, wouldn't we? We were all looking up that general area. We would have seen
At that
you
point of
just
the speech,
running.
you weren't. You
Oh.
were. He was on this. He was on the stage below.
But we still, I mean, he was still below. We would have seen her on an open balcony.
I mean, not if she
Move.
was like, if she like was just like behind this wall or something. Like there is a way that she could have like hid herself from view, but still heard what was going on, or like crawled to get her behind that chair.
Well, unfortunately, there are only two people that this really could be, because, well, there's only two people that this could be.
Well,
You-
I believe Maria.
What reason do you have to believe her?
I don't think it's this. I don't think it's this man who's quite old, being all spry and stabbing people and running away.
It's true, but
Well, do you know anything else that might be useful, Nigel? Since he's still charmed.
Well, useful. In what way, madam?
Do you know who might have wanted to kill Silas?
Actually killed, not just like said that like, oh, I could kill him kind of thing.
Do you know who killed Silas?
I don't believe that anyone killed Master Silas.
I'm sorry, will you elaborate on that, please?
I'd rather not. Maria
I think
speaks.
now is
Come on, we're all friends
perfect
here. We
time
just
to...
Maria
I have
speaks
a-
up.
I have a
real,
stream.
real quick, Maria speaks up. She says, listen, we all know that it's Jaina. We just had every piece of evidence to show that it was her.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a lingering question. He was supposedly healed, or attempted to be healed right after he died, but something was off. That gives us a couple different options. One, he wasn't actually being attempted to be healed. Or two, that wasn't his real body, and that was something that had been dead for a while beforehand. Or something transformed, or maybe the Silas that met us tonight wasn't ever the real Silas, and the real Silas has been dead the entire time.
Nigel, what's your opinion on this theory?
He kind of like shakes his head.
Well, all right.
Maria, can we have a private word for a couple of seconds?
I'm sorry, I don't think anybody should be having side conversations at this point in the evening.
Oh, I mean just like a couple steps over this way. You all can still see us. Maria,
Yeah.
can you come here for a second?
She steps over with you.
Now look. I'm willing to go to bat for you. All right? But I gotta be honest, I know you're bullshitting me in there. Why were you up there? You're talking to me. I told you I'll protect you. But you gotta tell me the truth.
Arthur. She looks up at you. You've always been far too good at your job.
I've got my hand on my dagger, like behind, just like a little, just like casually behind my cloak so she can't really see it, but like I'm there.
For sure. Does a 15 hit you? I don't think it does.
Does not.
A rapier appears, and she goes to stab you, but you block it last second, grabbing her wrist. Not mechanically, narratively.
Yeah.
Grabbing her wrist, and she looks up at you. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Hey.
Hell yeah. I knew if I was like, let's see how long I can keep this lie up and be like, hey, don't kid me.
So
Don't
the
kid me.
two of you have stepped over.
Oh, my initiative is bad! It's not gonna go well.
All right. Let's see here. Let's roll some dice.
I knew those off-colored eyes were gonna be a problem.
Okay.
Why? Genuinely, that's why I kept her with me the whole time. I was like, it's gotta be you. It's gotta be. Not the eyes. Just, it was just like I had a feeling. I was like, it's
It had to be you.
But also, Scarlet was scary. I thought she could kill her.
What's your
She could
initiative,
have,
Evan?
but she didn't.
What?
What's your initiative?
5.
5.
Is there music in the Roll20 that I'm not hearing?
I'm
No,
doing like
it's-
ambient stuff.
Yeah, it's
There's
ambient
rain and a
stuff.
couple
I don't have.
tinkles.
Hold on, I need to get it going.
Yeah, there's rain and a
I'm
couple
hearing it for some
tinkles
reason.
of music.
I'm gonna refresh.
This is a good investigation.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
fun.
Spanx. We're still.
Sorry, what?
You heard me, fish.
Said that you stink.
Now I'm definitely gonna kill Maria. And then I'm gonna be like, I knew your name was Molly the whole time, you fuck. Also, I realized the father wasn't here the entire time.
Yeah.
We just kind of left him in the study.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It's a one shot.
I think he might be a part of it.
It's a
He
one
might-
shot.
He might be a
He
part of
fell
it.
asleep.
He's sitting
asleep
in
in a
he's sitting
lounge
on the
chair.
couch, like reading
All right.
the like plan.
At the top of the turn order, we have Joshua. Joshua, what are you doing?
Getting at my longbow, taking a shot at Maria.
All right, roll for
That's an 18.
18 hits.
So, and I'm going to say, so as I pull my bow back, the string of the bow kind of lights up with very small, like, rune symbols. And I'm going to make this a grasping arrow.
Okay.
So, first, she's going to take, nice, Jesus, 13 points of piercing damage.
All right, nice.
And then she's going to take. Oh! 2 6s, 12 poison damage.
Nice.
Her speed is reduced by 10. And she takes 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn she moves 1 foot or more.
Nice.
The brambles last for 1 minute until any creature uses an action to remove them with an athletics check against my DC, which is a 14.
Okay. So you see this arrow fly through the air. The wood kind of like explodes as the arrow hits and creates these like wooden brambles that stick on her. And she screams in pain.
Do I have a moment to say something?
Sure.
It's not my turn,
Yeah, sure.
but I do want to say, don't kill her. We need her alive, and that's all I say.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
It's going to be the end of my turn.
Okay, everybody's kind of like parted to the side as you've like fired this arrow through everyone. After your turn, at the top of the turn order, is oh, it says Scarlet, but what's your dex, Scarlet?
Man, I'm fucking
That's
last.
a good
Jesus.
question. Hold on, sorry.
You're good.
Dex +2.
Let's do. She is going to go ahead of you. You see Maria, her form starts to shift and change, and she starts to grow slightly in height. And you see,
I swear to God, if it's Silas, I'm gonna kick his ass.
stepping into this position where Maria was standing, Silas Ravenhill.
Damn it,
There we
Luke
go.
Evans.
You see Silas Ravenhill as he looks at you, Arthur. I'm sorry, old friend. You're just too damn good. And he is going to. He takes damage if he moves, right?
It's a feat of movement.
A feat of movement. Okay, so he's gonna stand where he is.
His speed is also reduced by 10.
Okay. And he is going to swing his rapier twice at you. Sir Arthur.
Come here, fucker.
That is a 17 to hit.
Nope.
Ooh,
I'm so
nice.
used to playing such.
And that
squishy
is
characters.
a dirty 20 to hit.
Nope.
Dirty 20 doesn't hit you?
21, baby.
How is your AC 21?
Shield +1.
But what is your dex?
+2, 15.
And what's your armor? What armor are you wearing?
Plate.
Which
18.
gives you 16 plus
18.
8, and then the shield +1. Jeez, oh Pete, that's crazy. Level 321
I had a
is
feeling
nuts.
something was gonna happen. So I'm gonna
That's
plan for
that's
this.
higher than anyone's level 5 AC.
I always play
I know.
squishies. I
That's
always play
crazy.
squishies except for now.
All right. Well, that's the end of Silas's turn. We're going to go to Alden next, who is going to get out his rapier.
Can I get skipped?
Oh yeah, sorry, Scarlett, go.
No, it's okay. I actually was just gonna hold my action to attack anybody who seems immediately hostile toward me at any point, specifically me.
Okay, sure. That's how you spend your turn.
What a fucking smart thing to do.
Alden is going to run up and flank his uncle and attack him at advantage. That is a 19, which is gonna hit, which deals max damage, 12 points of damage to him. That is going to be the end of Alden's turn. Silas kind of groans in pain. Nigel is going to
What's Nigel gonna do?
10, 15.
He's still charmed.
Actually, he's going to turn around and he's going to attempt to. He gets out a dagger and he's going to try to stab Joshua.
Okay. Hold on. I'm reading this to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay.
I don't think he hits it.
I'm gonna use my reaction, protection,
Okay.
while wearing a shield, and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. Is Joshua within 5 feet?
No, he is not.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. I don't think he hits anyway with a 15. I doubt it.
That just hits.
Okay. He deals.
I got leather armor on.
He deals 2 points of piercing damage as he stabs at you, almost causing like pressure wound more than like an actual piercing wound.
Wait, who stabbed?
Nigel.
The old man.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said that it was Silas for a second. I lost.
No.
that.
It was Nigel. It was Nigel.
Okay.
That's the end of Nigel's turn. Rose is going to scared back up. Jaina is going to do the same thing. That is the end of their 2 turns. Arthur, you are up. Joshua, you're on deck.
Yeah, I'm going to, because I'm imagining like I'm blocked, disarmed. I had my hand on my dagger. I'm going to try and slice across his wrists and to get him into a grapple and hold. What's his fucking? Now I think his name is Luke Evans. It's not. It's what he
Silas.
looks
Are you
like.
grappling him or are you attacking him?
Oh, that's right. I have to do one or the other.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and grapple him.
Okay, yeah. Roll an athletics check.
16.
That is a natural 1. So you have him grappled.
Yeah, the way I want to grapple him, I just like got him. I want to hold his sword arm and try and like twist it just to like keep him from, if he moves it, like he'll try and hurt or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, give it up, man.
Arthur, I don't want to have to kill you.
I know. And I like hold it even harder and like push it down.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to him.
All right, Joshua, you're up.
Do I get disadvantage because I have a hostile within melee range of me if I'm making a ranged attack?
Correct.
Okay. But if he's being grappled, that would just make it a straight throw, right?
Correct.
Okay. This old man just trying to stab me.
Yeah.
I'm saying 1 to hit, and I think Nigel's gonna be fucking
I mean, you
down.
can go around him and take an opportunity attack if you want.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm just gonna be like, "Sir, don't embarrass yourself," and then just kind of. I'm gonna stay within melee. I guess I'll just kind of.
He gets a 9.
Yeah.
On his opportunity attack, so he's not
Nigel,
able to...
you dumb fuck.
So I went 5, 10, 15. I'll just go like there, so I'm about
Alright.
10 feet away,
Yeah.
and then make an attack now with advantage, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a 19 on the die plus, so 27.
That'll hit.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Damn. Okay, he doesn't take any extra damage until he moves. That's fine. That's just going to be 9 points of piercing damage.
He takes 9 points of piercing damage. In that moment, when he takes 9 points of piercing damage, he's going to use his reaction. He disappears in a similar green puff of smoke, and you no longer have visual of him, and he is gone.
Yeah.
He used his ability Misty Escape.
Ah, he farted.
I guess
He did take the damage. The arrow hits him, and and then Misty escapes.
Fucking
I guess are we still in combat?
You are still in combat. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's my turn.
Okay. That's the end of your turn. It's his turn next. He immediately reappears right here in this same hallway. As he appears at the start of his next turn, and he is going to
surrender.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Arthur.
All right. Famously, a thing I'm very bad at.
Famously.
Famously for this character. That's a 12.
That is going to fail.
Yeah, there we go.
You take 13 points of psychic damage,
Ooh.
Christ.
and you have disadvantage on all attack rolls until the end of his next turn.
Great.
He is then going to look at you, Joshua, and you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Has he technically the brambles? I don't think just because he Misty Step, it's not like difficult terrain. Like it's on him. It says that like
For sure, but he has not used a single foot of movement.
Oh, okay, dope.
Yeah, but they are still on him.
His movement speed is still also reduced
Yes,
by there.
they are still on him. He
Just making sure.
teleported to that spot.
Dope. That's going to be a 17.
17 succeeds. You take 3 points of psychic damage, and you do not have disadvantage on your attacks. That is the end of his turn. Scarlet, you are up.
I mean, look, guys, Scarlet's very out for her own interest here. So I
Do
think
whatever you
she's
want.
gonna move,
You're fine.
so-
Anytime that Matt has ever played a bard, they only don't do anything.
That's fair.
That's right, Matt. Clip this so you can watch it forever.
My first
I
charm
am-
person stream, that's what happened. He was the bard that didn't do anything.
I am going to just move out here so that I can see a little bit better. And then I'm going to cast...
Yes.
Okay, so would we consider Silas to be hostile toward me?
We would.
Okay. Then I'm going to continue to just hold an action in case I am in immediate danger.
Okay, for sure.
So fucking funny.
Alden is going to step up beside Arthur and cast Eldritch Blast
Oh yeah.
over at Silas, hitting him and dealing 6 points of force damage. Roll pretty low. That is the end of Alden's turn. Nigel is going to...
I'm about to punch Nigel.
He's gonna run up to Joshua.
I picture just like the butler from the Tomb Raider games, just like slowly like.
He's
wiping
gonna try
away.
to. He's gonna
know
try
what
to
that means?
grapple you,
You gotta
Joshua.
shut him
You
in
need
the
to roll
fridge.
an acrobatics or athletics check.
Acrobatics? Are you fucking kidding me?
He got a 4.
I got a 10. So
He
not great
tries
for
to
me.
grapple you, and you just kind of like, no,
Stop.
no, stop. Lena and Rose stay right where they are. Arthur, you're up. Josh, you're on deck.
Cool.
Remind me of the effects other than disadvantage on attack rolls.
You just have disadvantage on attack rolls. That's it.
Okay.
You just kind of feel this like ringing in your ears.
Remind me what lay on hands is that
bonus action for yourself. Bonus action for
yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bonus action lay on hands myself.
Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna give what am I gonna give myself? I'll go 8. Heal myself for 8.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had to do it. It's been a while since I had done that. So that brings me up to. Great. No, not heal 20, you dunce. Been a while.
It's okay, bud.
And then. Yeah, I'm gonna get up to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm gonna get right up near Silas.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as close as I can get. Let me make sure I can't do anything else action-wise. Ooh, no wait, I can! Paladin! I forgot there are certain things that I had to write in. I'm going to compel duel.
Okay.
No, it's a bonus action. I can't do it. Never mind. I can't do it.
I'll allow you to. I mean, I'm usually if something is a bonus action, I'll allow you to do it as an action.
Okay, then I will cast compelled duel.
What is that saving throw? You gotta
wisdom. It doesn't say specifically, so I'm guessing it's against my
your
spell
DC.
thing.
Yeah, it's your DC.
So you probably saved it. 12.
Yeah, he got a 16 on the die, plus 3 is 19.
I would say, as I try to do that,
yeah.
That I would say, I'm giving you one chance. Surrender, or we do this.
Okay. All right, that's the end of your turn, Joshua. You are up.
Sir, please stand back. Yeah, attack 8. I don't care.
He got a 16 on the die, plus 2 is 18.
Okay, sure. Do your
He
2 points of damage.
deals 1 point of piercing damage to you. As you
Fucking love this guy. Ride or die.
Sir, please stand back.
I'm just gonna get a kill. That's all I know.
And I'm gonna shoot an arrow.
Uh-huh.
That's 22.
That'll hit.
That's max damage for 8 plus 6. 14 piercing.
14 points of damage. Sorry, I was doing math in my head and not succeeding. Yeah, the arrow penetrates him. This guy's looking bloodied as blood literally starts to kind of like come out of his mouth. The 2 arrows now penetrating his abdomen. He's looking hurt.
Action surge.
All right, do it again.
Later.
That's an 18.
18 will hit.
That is going to be 8 additional piercing damage.
8 additional piercing damage. Looks 8 additional piercing damage rougher.
I feel like I'm 8 piercing damage worse.
He's looking pretty hurt based on where he started.
Cool, that's my turn.
That's the end of Joshua's turn. It is now his turn. Who looks at you, Arthur, and says, "It was over when you walked in the building." And he's gonna step to you, taking how many points of damage?
Hold on.
From the brambles.
I was like, I didn't do anything.
The universe saw the 2 6s I rolled and went, you know what? We can't have that. So that's 2.
2 points of damage.
2 points of, I think, piercing.
Well, he takes
Oh,
it.
slash. Just 2 slashing damage.
Slashing. Well, he takes it and he walks up to attack Arthur. That is a natural 20 and a natural 1.
It's all about balance, babe.
That's hysterical. Okay. He hasn't hit with his rapier yet, though. It's pretty good. That is, for a nat 20, that's... Oh, shit, dude.
See what he does.
Oh, okay, so this is 38 points total of damage.
How in the world?
His rapier does a D8 and 2d6 force damage.
Jesus. Force damage? What kind of bullshit lightsaber is this?
I'm using the Warlock of the Archfey. Stat back.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm unconscious.
Okay, so he just comes over to you, stabs you, feel this shock inside of you as you look at him, and he just kind of grabs you.
Oh, there's just disappointment on my face.
Yeah,
that's
of
all
course.
it is.
Of
It's
course.
just like,
yeah. And as you fall down to the ground unconscious, that's the end of his turn. Scarlet, you're up.
I'm gonna run up to Nigel, who is still charmed by me, and say, Nigel, more than anything in the world, I need you to go prepare a carriage to take me home.
Alright, we will see what he does on his turn.
And I'm gonna
that's just a
continue
free
to hold an
action.
action in
You're gonna hold an action?
case
Okay.
in immediate danger.
Alden is going to step forward, and he's going to yell, Arthur didn't deserve that! And he's going to, he's going to cast Witch Bolt.
Ooh.
Which hits and deals
So much damage.
14 points of lightning damage.
okay, he'll do the less stuff for everybody else, but not his friend.
Silas falls to the ground. Very clearly hurt. That was Silas, or Alden, not Silas. And that is the end of Alden's turn. Nigel is going to start making his way to the front door.
That's so funny.
Rose and Jaina are going to stay where they are. Arthur, I need you to roll a death saving throw for me, buddy.
Yeah, because he fucking hit me with a missile.
He's a bit of a glass cannon.
We've got a
16. You succeed.
Yep.
Joshua, your turn.
Okay. Step over Sir Arthur's dying body.
Yeah.
Fire off an arrow. That's a natural 20.
There it is.
How do you want to do this? This guy's very, very dead.
I think just for like fun flavor, as I let loose another arrow, brambles start to appear on this one too, and it just gets like stuck in the middle of his throat.
He looks down at you and he mouths the words. And he falls
County
down
Fair
to the
champion 3 years running.
ground. Nigel continues to go downstairs. Rose is
God.
going to go up to Arthur and cast Healing Word.
Hell yeah.
For 4 hit points.
For how many?
4.
Well, I'm back up, so that's fine.
She heals you 4, and she's kind of like slapping your face very gently. All right, you gotta wake up now. Wake up, Arthur.
I do that thing for Mission Impossible 3, which is total bullshit. But when Ethan Hunt gets defibrillated at the end of the movie,
Oh.
and he
Yeah.
jumps up and like gets the gun,
Yeah.
he jumps up with his sword and like swings it out just in case like Silas is there, and then immediately is like, Maria, and then runs down to the ballroom.
You go down to the ballroom. You see the dead body of Silas with an arrow in his neck.
I read the scroll of true polymorph that I have on me.
It's like I said, it's not an actual magical scroll, but looking at it and looking at this Silas, it all comes to you. The vault, the letter to Maria's mother, the scroll of true morph, it all lays out. Silas was back to his criminal roots, and he had gotten over his head and wanted out. And he made a servant girl fall in love with him and agree to a wild plan where he would true polymorph her into a version of himself, fake his death, hopefully pin the blame on somebody else publicly, and make off with all of the treasure and everything that he had with the sacks and everything. He was simply like disguised as Maria. Maria, though, was true polymorphed into a version of Silas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it unfolds in front of you. Nigel...
Man, I go arrest that fucker. He's not moving.
Yeah, for sure. Nigel fails to get the carriage. He eventually says that he was the only one that was aware of this plan other than Maria. He confirms everything. And Scarlet eventually makes her way home, walking in the rain, pissed. Sir Arthur sits on the stoop as other royal guard walk in and around the house, starting...
I cough up a bit of blood.
Rose comes over and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, that she's thankful for you and for, accepting her for who she was. Alden and Jaina are immediately arguing about whether or not they can, with him being dead, they can, claim ownership over this manor.
I do tell the guards, I don't know if this is illegal, but they tried to blackmail Silas.
What? And they both get put in cuffs. And Joshua,
lawful good, baby.
You start making your way down the path, happily having completed your first adventure.
I'm gonna make a great presentation on Monday.
Dude, you killed the big bad. You definitely get an A.
And that is where we will end tonight's little one shot.
Good little mystery, Zach.
Yeah, threw some red herrings in there, threw multiple motives at you, but you were able to eventually uncover the killer, which was Silas himself. Twist! There was a twist!
Very glass onion.
Yeah. Alright, so thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. We did announcements at the beginning. I love my players. The best players the GM can ask for. I say it every time, but I mean it every time. As always, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.